Yeah, we'll restart since we had a error with OBS. So I'm going to pass over to Tom once I've said thank you to you guys for joining in today. We are the Vaping IWI, and pretty much we're going to come at you with some live juice reviews from myself, and then I think Tom has some stuff that he's going to unbox. So over to you, Tom.
Hey guys, so just a bit about who I am. My name's Tom, obviously, as Cam said before. I do YouTube reviews. The channel is in the description below as well. I do have a few things to quickly just have an unbox of today. They arrived in the mail today, which is great. And yeah, that's about it. Today, vaping on the Star Wars AV with the recoil, the tugboat with the limitless RDTA, not the plus, just the standard, the velocity on the scoundrel, and the goon with the custom tip on the triad with some Maya coils in there, vaping on some Renaissance e-liquids Redux. So back to you, Cam.
Okay, so I'm Cam, as Tom just said, and I said myself. I'm from Rotorua, based in New Zealand, and today I will be vaping on the tugboat that has had a real bad life, with the Limitless Plus RDTA with Maya coils in it. I've also got the Fu Hatton with the avocado, and I think that's got some Mont Blanc from Renaissance in it. And then the Triad DNA 200 with another avocado, 24mm. And then the Snow Wolf, which I'll be using for the juice reviews, and there's the Velocity, and I will be swapping to the Limitless Plus as well on this. And Royal Hunter Mini. Alright, so do you want to take us away, Tom?
Sure. So today, received this little gem here. This is just one of the things I received. I've been waiting on this one for a little while. It is the Cotton Candy Able. Loving it. Little baggie of goods, usual O-rings, etc. Got a standard battle cap as well with it, matching the cotton candy style. The other battle cap with the longer tip, and the mod itself. So let's see what it's about. Just taking a quick look at it firstly. Brass on the top. It feels like aluminum, even though I was told that it is stainless steel. So it could be stainless steel, but it does feel like aluminum. On the bottom half, the button is magnetic. Yeah, is magnetic. Can't push those two together. And it's made of brass as well at the bottom. Let's see what the inside's made of. So we've got a copper contact, but just because those threads are bare, it does look more like aluminum than anything else. Just looking at it, the sleeve is coated on the inside as well, which is an interesting way of doing it. And then we got coating the whole way through on there as well. One of the things I like about the AV mods is the interchangeability of all the parts. For example, just taking apart my Star Wars one here. The fact that you can swap out all the parts, or just swap out the sleeve for now. But there we go. Now we've got a cotton candy sleeve.
Tom, is what is the machining on the threads like?
It seems pretty smooth. I mean, it does really. There's a bit of raspiness. Don't know if you'll be able to hear that through the mic. What's nice on this one, just looking at it compared to the Star Wars one I've got sitting by me here, is it seems like the top cap is a bit taller, although I may be wrong. No, it's about the same size. The Star Wars one I've got is full brass the whole way through, and the machining on that one's excellent. I mean, I haven't had any issues with it. I've had it for a while now, and it is my go-to mech mod. But it does look quite nice with that cotton candy sleeve on there, with the white, nice contrast on it. So we'll see how this new one goes. Just chuck my other sleeve on there. grab a battery. So, Cam, what do you think of Abels in general?
Here they're quite expensive if you're going for the authentic, but they look really nice aesthetically. To be honest, I'm thinking about getting that cotton candy Abel that's in your hands right now. Looks really, really nice. The battle cap is also a nice added bonus because it comes in the same camo or any color that you go for. Looks really, really good.
Sweet.
Would love
Sweet.
them.
What are we going to check on here? Just go with the recoil.
Go with the recoil.
Go with the recoil. In terms of the 510 threads, they seem real smooth. Machining on the threads itself is great on the 510. Putting it all together. It is a lot, like considerably lighter than the other one I have. Just feels a lot lighter in hand. Buttons about the same. And there we go. We got Joy. Just using my standard build on here, which is the build I use for every mech, and generally for testing all juices that I try. But yeah, she goes. She goes real well. All right, Cam, what do you got?
Question though, is there any voltage difference between your two? If you don't mind me asking that.
Not that I'd notice. Not from just picking it up just now. I'd have to try it out over the next few days to really see if there is a difference. I mean, it doesn't feel it. But then again, this is a straight away kind of thing. Yeah.
How's it going, Chris? I see you in the chat. Okay, so let's start with one of the juices from miasma.co.nz. So just a brief thing. Not a big fan of coffee vapes. Coffee is not my cup of tea when it comes to vaping. I prefer to drink it out of a cup. So, yep, they sent me 3 bottles for samples. The prices are from $6 for a 10 mil. 30 mils is $15 at the moment, and then your 50 mils are $22. So, pretty good price. As I said, coffee, not my favorite vape, but I will vape it and tell you guys what I think about it. So, at the moment, they haven't got the labels in. Comes in a nice little bottle, nice and squeezy. So, I've got it on the Snow Wolf. Velocity 65 watts. Here you guys go. Oh, that's a bit dry. 1 second. Here we go. All right, so first inhale, I get the generic coffee flavor. It's quite pleasant. On the exhale, there's a little bit of cream with the coffee. It is quite intense, but I think that's because I'm using an RDA rather than a tank. Personally, I would say that this would be better in a tank rather than in an RDA because of that intense coffee flavor. But yeah, other than that, it is quite vapeable for myself. As I said, not a big coffee fan at all. But other than that, yep, if you're into your coffees, this is definitely one you should check out.
Are you getting any other notes apart from the coffee and the cream, or is it purely just coffee and cream?
Pretty much purely coffee and cream to me. I don't know, some other people might get different flavors from it. All depends on their palate. Yeah, so on their website, they do say that it is made for 50 watts or higher. Or if you're using temp control, they say 145 or above. I'm not using temp control, so that's not me today. Okay, so I'm just going to screw on the Royal Hunter Mini, which I find gives me a lot of flavor. There we go. And I will be...
Turn your mic up, bro.
Oh, is it quiet? Okay, here we go. Is that better?
That is way better.
Okay, am I better? Cool, hope so. These boys are playing live. Damn right we are, Paul. Alright, so now I'm going to try their pomegranades. from this. I've already vaped it. Pomegranate with a subtle hint of what I thought was pear, but I have found out that it is apple. It is quite a nice vape. If you're into your fruitier vapes, I would definitely suggest checking out pomegranates. So it's still the same prices as the other bottles. Nothing's changed. So yeah, as I said, a lot of pomegranate, very fruity, a lot of apple, but it's not overpowering. So you get that apple as well as that pomegranate on top. It's quite nice. If you're into fruity vapes, this is definitely for you. Tom, do you have anything else you want to add to these?
Personally, I haven't tried the juice. I'm really looking forward to, though. It's always interesting to see what's out there and how people, react to the juices. Obviously, everyone's palate is different.
Yep.
I mean, even between you and me, my juice tastes different, and that's normal. That's what you expect from people. But yeah, no, not really. I mean, I don't really have any questions apart from, well, you've answered every question I would have had about those juices. Do you know what the blend is on it? Do you know the PG-VG ratio?
PG-VG ratio, no, it is not. It says it is a high VG on the Killer Coffee, but I could ask Kareen, who was in the chat box, I believe, or Nick.
Yeah, Kareen or Nick, if you're in there, if you want to let us know what your PG-VG ratio is, that'd be awesome. Just so people know.
Yep, sorry, Chris. It's myasthma.co.nz. Sorry about that. Just noticed your comment. There's a bit of lag between the stream and what we're saying right now. So just
We've
remember
got a 30-second delay set up so that the stream goes very smoothly. No buffering on your end. Well, there should be no buffering on your end. But yeah, sorry for that.
Yep, so they've confirmed that it is max VG.
Yep, so max VG being 100%, or do you know?
Max VG is what they've said. I don't know if that means that they're using a distilled water or anything else, or the concentrates are PG.
guys. Yep. Fair enough. Be interesting to see. No, I don't really have any more questions for you. Possibly hit us with prices.
Yep, so as I did say with the Killer Coffee, $6 for a 10 mil, 30 mils are 15, and your 50 mils are 22 from myasthma.co.nz. So yeah, real cheap.
That's a pretty cheap 10 mil.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, personally, these are quite simple flavors. So someone who's getting into vaping, with the Killer Coffee, it is quite strong. So, that's going to be better for someone that's got nicotine or cigarette tongue, would be the easy way to explain it. But yeah, so they're quite simple. So people, get used to that nice sweet flavor. The thing I want to talk about, Tom, is these vape events that are coming up.
The vape events.
Vape events, yeah.
Yeah. We've got Christchurch Vape Day coming up really soon. It's the closest one to us here. Just on September. The poster that you guys are going to see to that side. Nope. Yeah, no, that side. You guys will see that a lot of vendors are coming. A lot of vendors get a chance to meet a bunch of them. Sadly, I couldn't make it due to flights, but I would have loved to be there because it looks really promising at this point. A lot of really, really good vendors there as well.
Yeah, kind of gutted I can't be there either. Looks like an awesome event. Congrats to Mox and the crew down there that have been putting this together. Looks like an awesome event. Very, very gutted that I won't be there, but I will be at 510 by the looks of it. So that's the Auckland event, which is coming on, October the 2nd, I believe?
Yes, October the 2nd is the 510.
Yep, so that's based in Auckland. There is no announcement of vendors, which is, there's still a couple months to go for that.
Be interesting to see who's going. Who's
mate, I hope there's some good vendors up there. Hopefully we can get some of the Southerners up. Would be awesome to see.
For sure.
Yeah, if I left now, Chris, I probably would make it to Christchurch Vape Day. The only thing would be swimming across the strait, man. Not really a swimmer.
You can do it, Cam. Come on. We believe in you.
Yeah, I mean, custom trophies by Lawrence Archibald.
Yeah.
So those are one-offs. Those are unique as. That's awesome.
That's something that I wouldn't mind having on my vape wall for sure.
Mate, I would love to have one of his Addy stands on my wall. Or
yeah,
on
that's
my desk.
it.
Oh.
That's it, mate.
Start walking in swimming pool? Yeah, most likely. But it'd probably take me a couple months.
That's right, mate. You'll make it. Come on, do it. Start. Just go now, mate.
I'll just leave now. Just walk out the door.
Just on another note on that Able, just going back on it. Look at that. Look at that 510. That thing's mental.
Damn, that is protruding hard.
Yeah, I mean, like compared to the recoil, which is here. Look at that. That's a stunning difference. But I mean, obviously, it's made for hybrid top caps, so you know they preemptively thought about that fact, which is great. So Cam, are we moving on to the to what's going on in the world?
Should we move on to what's going on in the world? I think we should.
We are. So interesting things. Come across this ad that's been aired in the States. So it doesn't really affect New Zealand, but it is in the States. It was aired during the Olympics. And it's a pretty interesting one. So I'm just quickly going to play it, and you guys should see it on that side, roughly up the top there, well, next to me. And then we'll just talk about it quickly after it's played.
So in the 5 years that I've been vaping, I have noticed there are short-term side effects to vaping, okay? For the first 2 years that I was vaping, I had zero issues. It was bliss, man. And then after 2 years, I noticed some of these short-term effects started to creep up on me. I started to get muscle cramps, mainly in my calves and in my forearms. I started to get aches and pains, acute headaches, dry mouth, dry skin on my knuckles. I noticed all these things, and I was like, what the hell is going on? I had it for about a month or two. I was still vaping on it. At that time, it was like a 50-50 blend, maybe 60 VG, 40 PG. And it's like I said, this is about 3 years ago. But yeah, I felt good for the next couple months after I started doing that, and it started to creep back, and I started to feel again. Cramps in my calves, cramps in my forearms. I would grip things and let go, and it would just like freeze up. It was almost like a Charlie horse that wasn't painful, but I knew something was up. And then I had blood work done, and they noticed that I had hypothyroidism, so I started taking thyroid medicine, and I felt better again for a couple months, and then it started creeping back up on me. And I was like, what the I can't get rid of this I can't enjoy vaping.
Your thoughts on that one, Cam?
The only thing I can say is wow. Just
right?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear that it's, again, misguidance, and this whole, looking at it from an outsider's perspective, someone who doesn't vape, and all that, obviously we as vapors are going to have an opinion because we're angry at that kind of thing. But as an outsider's perspective, to me, what I'd see that as if I wasn't a vapor is basically that I shouldn't even try doing it, that it is really, dangerous and could harm me and all that kind of stuff. And again, the catchy music as well. Like it's basically making it happy. Yeah, it's happy, and this is the reality and all this kind of stuff. When for example, myself, I've been vaping for close to 3 years now, and I wasn't a smoker when I started vaping, and I mean I'm in no different health to 3 years ago when I first started. I can tell you that much. And I think Cam, you said you were coming up on how many years now?
So it's just over 4 years. So I quit smoking on the 24th of February 4 years ago.
And how do you think you feel versus prior to that?
So back then, obviously, as a kid, I grew up with asthma, had asthma my whole life, still got asthma. And to be honest, vaping has actually helped rather than smoking, which would give you the cough and, the lung issues. Vaping 4 years. I've got no dry knuckles, got none of these issues that Rip Trippers talked about in that video.
No electrolyte sponsorships?
No, I drink my electrolytes, Powerades and stuff, and Gatorade, all that sort of stuff. Don't know if I can say that on a public stream, but I just did. But yeah, I don't have any of those issues. I don't think you have any of those issues, and I'm guessing most of our viewers right now don't have those issues.
I'm guessing, all of them, 100%. And I saw a comment just then from either Nick or Corinne there. Doesn't take into account the possibilities that Rip could have had other unrelated health issues, and that's the case as well. Most of the time, it's not something that was caused by it, so to speak, and that's the biggest thing as well. And again, the media are basically taking that video and being like, "Oh, look, it's proof." He cracked. But again, it's just a good old dig at it.
Yep. I believe that's Nick and Paul, that comment. Yep, that's pretty true. Wouldn't surprise me. So the things that Rip was claiming and the issue that he had was actually from lack of exercise. That I can't remember what it was, but yeah. So I did a bit of Google research when it first came out, and it was lack of exercise causes that issue or disease or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So how's it going, Nick? I see you in the chat. Tom, do you have anything else you want to add to that?
Not particularly. Again, it is well, at least it seems like a serious case of the whole scaremongering, getting people to believe something without hitting them with any facts or anything. For example, all the studies that have been done globally, all the evidence that's coming out about it and all that kind of stuff. It's just a way for other industries to keep making their money, I guess, if you want to put it that way. But yeah, it's interesting nonetheless. And it's obvious that they're trying to get attention playing it during the Olympics, which is extremely high peak.
Yeah, peak hours, high television.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people are watching during Olympics, as much as I haven't been. But yeah, so that's interesting, though. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I hear you've got something else to unbox.
I do. This one I've been looking forward to. Not more than the Able, but probably equally as much. This is the Sub-Zero. It's the Tube Plus RDA, the 24 millimeter, the legendary. Yeah. And look at the box, mate. Bloody competition mod on one side, the actual link to the Sub-Zero innovations. Look at that. Bloody immaculate. Even comes with a manual and a 90-day warranty.
90 days.
Got a little baggie of goodies there. You got your Allen keys. You got your O-rings, etc. And we got the, it comes out, RDA. And the tube itself. This one is different. And that's why I like the look of it. The feeling on it, the sort of material they've used, it's like a soft rubber coating, real soft. It does have a lockable button on the bottom. It is the tall button, not the shorty button. I would have liked to have seen that as an option, that's for sure, but it wasn't. But the thing that interests me with this one, and comparative to an Able, it's actually huge. The mod itself is bigger than an Able plus an RDA. They call it a competition mod. So you've got a 510 on the RDA, and then you've got a 510 with a floating pin on the actual mod. So you chuck that on there. Say you're using a different RDA or whatever you want to do it, and that's how it would look. So it's absolutely massive.
Massive, yeah.
Yeah, massive.
That's crazy.
But you have options, which is great. If you want to run it in a hybrid configuration, all you have to do is unscrew the top cap on the mod itself. So you put your battery in there, and then you unscrew the bottom of the RDA, and then you'd be able to screw on your RDA directly onto the mod. So it's like a hybrid. So you've got that instead. And then you got the airflow, which is, very, very well known for in the Sub-Zeros. The way you get the deck out is a bit different as well. It's like the 22 in the sense that you got to take the top cap off, and then push it through, and then it comes out. You got the post holes, and then you got the dual airflow, but you can block one of these off with the included big screws. It gives you a big Allen key for those as well. So you can rock it in single airflow. It's very airy though, that's for sure. It's from just before. And yeah, I mean, the button's interesting as well. So instead of your standard spring button or magnet button, it uses a clutch style button. So it's got a clutch. Let me just take that apart, Cam. Any questions at all out there for this one?
Are there any questions in the chat? Nope. I see that Nick, the thyroid issue he was saying is a lack of minerals, talking about the Rip Tripper incident.
Oh, yep,
but,
yep.
I'm pretty sure I read that, as well as lack of exercise, but I'm thinking they meant like vitamin D, so like sunlight.
Yeah, exactly. If you stay indoors reviewing gear all day.
Yeah.
So the button comes apart. So it comes in a few pieces here. It's fully lockable, so you got like this plastic plate inside that kind of rotates to lock and unlock. And then you got this kind of clutch design. So it's basically 4 pieces of metal with the O-ring strapped around it. And what happens is when it gets pushed down, the pin's like pyramid shaped. When it gets pushed down, it separates, spreads, and makes contact with the outside. So it is a very different style of button.
Yeah, that's quite unique, eh?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it on many other mods. I have heard about it on other mods, but personally have not seen it. In terms of the button, it's not amazing. I would have loved to have the shorty button, but that's something that I'll look into at a later date. You can feel that basically because of that locking mechanism, it kind of catches. It kind of feels like a joystick. I have heard of people having that issue with their crickets before. But that's about it. That's about all I have. You have another juice there, don't you, Cam?
I do indeed. So this is actually my favorite from the lot. It is called Chernobyl. So it is an apple turnover with, I believe, a hint of cinnamon, and a nice buttery pastry. So once again, I'll just unscrew that. Cool. And juice her up. So yeah, same addy as the pomegranate, so the Royal Hunter Mini and the Snow Wolf. They have recommended 65 watts or above, so I'm going to set it at 65 watts and tell you guys what I think about it. So yep, exactly what the flavor profile or the taste like, what it tastes like as it says on the website. You get a nice apple on the inhale, and then when it gets to the back of your throat, you feel that cinnamon on your tongue, and a nice creamy buttery pastry through it. And then I think it might be custard as well, like there's a little creamy custard kind of flavor in there as well, and vanilla on the exhale, which is really nice.
Nice. And would you say it's a sweeter juice, or is it more of like a, not tart, but it's not just overly sweet?
Yeah, it would be more of a tart, in my opinion. Like, my palate's obviously different than everyone else's, but it's not overly sweet, and it's not like a fruity apple. It's quite a subtle apple, but it's nice and crisp.
Nice. That sounds real good.
Yep, really could vape this pretty much all day. Too bad I don't have a Camel bottle at the moment. We'll be putting water in on that soon. It's quite nice.
Good stuff. I'm looking forward to try it as well. Just from what you've been saying about it over the last few days, it does sound like a really, really nice juice. I'm more personally not into, I'm personally not into sweet juices, or overly sweet juices, should I say. I'm more into the real flavoursome, but just not like in your face sweet. And that's why I've been looking forward to kind of trying these miasma juices, because as you've been saying, they're not that sickly sweet.
Yeah, they're quite, the fruity one is obviously quite a sweet, fruity flavor, but it's not overly sweet. Same with the Chernobyl. I will bring these up when I come up to Auckland Vape Day so that you can have a try. I don't know if there'll be any Chernobyl left, but hopefully there will be.
Better leave some for me, mate.
So
you better.
I'm going to open the floor up to questions in the chat, if that's all good with you, Tom.
Yep, sure.
Are there any
You guys have any questions about either, the gear we're using or the juice that Cam's vaping or anything like that? We're open to it. What we want to happen is audience interaction.
So Lawrence has asked the machining and the overall weight of the Sub-Zero, Tom.
It's really heavy. Really heavy. The threads are great. The RDA is made out of stainless. I believe it said 316, but not sure about that one. The threads on it real smooth. Everything looks good. Just quickly looking at it now, the only gripe I have, but that's why clones exist versus authentics. I don't know if you guys can see that little gap there. You can kind of like push and pull it, and that's actually not meant to happen. But at the same time, it still works 100%, and you wouldn't actually notice that if you were using.
Is it missing an O-ring by any chance?
Nah. It's literally just because of this whole hybrid thing. The tolerances are just not as great on that. But the mod, I'm using it right now just to see how it goes, and I mean she cranks more so than quite a few of my other mods. And the threads seem real smooth on the mod as well.
That's good. Is it authentic?
No.
Nope. No, it's not.
No.
But it's a one-to-one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's literally a one-to-one. The box, the mod, the RDA, everything is a one-to-one. Yeah. It's good. It's really good. It hits really hard. And the threads on the mod itself are really smooth. Really smooth. I think the only thing I'd look for is that shorty button. That I would love to see on that.
Yeah, it would make it a bit smaller as well, I guess. Single 18650. Yes, I believe the Sub-Zero is a
single 18650. The gap, Chris, it's not the top, well, I mean, like, it's on the RDA. You've got the top cap up here, and it's just down the bottom where you unscrew for the hybrid. Personally, I haven't seen an off yet because I'm waiting on Abe O'Brien's one to check it out. It's just like a minute gap when you're screwing that, and it's because they've kind of drilled those catch holes for that top cap airflow just a bit too much, and it just gives you that. It's real tiny, but if you push down on it, it's not there at all. So you wouldn't actually notice it. And if you're using it on the hybrid mode, just so I was playing with it before, you wouldn't feel that gap. It wouldn't be there.
The avocado runs well on that mod. I would assume it would. Avocado runs well on anything, man.
24 or 22? 24?
Yeah, I'd go 24 since it's a 24 tube.
Let me just check it on there, right?
I mean, as Paul said, avocado. I'm a bit of an avocado fanboy, as everyone pretty much will know.
Yep, we all know that. You've made it clear.
I just have the Limitless Plus, okay? And I do use this quite a lot. So, you know. 22mm black. Ooh. Do you have the black? You don't have the black, do you?
I've got the 24 black.
Oh, okay. Yep. Perfect.
Hold on. Just adjusting that. So basically, you've got this little wheel that you've got to adjust to basically compensate for battery rattle and compensate for that 510, obviously. There we go.
So it's telescoping rather than...
Yeah. So it goes up and down. Again, that button, mate. Would have loved to have seen the shorty.
I mean, you'll be able to source the shorty pretty easily, I'm guessing.
I've heard that Vaporium have the actual mods, so whether or not they have the buttons separate, that is what I'd be interested to find out.
That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, so I see Moggs is wearing a Billion Lives t-shirt. Good movie. Really looking forward to seeing it. Haven't seen it, but all the reviews I've seen, all the reviews I've seen have said that it's a good documentary movie, whatever you want to call it.
For sure.
Avocado Club, definitely. Can't deny
Always,
it. I do
every day. It's like your life, isn't it, Cam?
What, the Avocado Club?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dedicated, mate. You're probably the club owner.
I'm not the founder, though. That was
Here we
my
go.
film.
So just adjusting all the pins and shit in here. She's going. Ish.
So what's your first impressions of that tube, other than the feel and the gripe of the button?
Yeah, it's good. It hits hard. Quality's good. Price was good. But, you know, it's always going to be good when it's not an authentic. No, I mean, all around, it's good. I mean, I again, have not compared it to an authentic. Would love to, but I haven't had that chance yet. I mean, there's a tiny bit of delay between pushing the button and it going off. Well, that's the choke, the clutch.
The
Just
clutch.
the way that it has to compress. But it looks the part with the avocado, I can tell you that much. Look at that. And again, let's go
really nice.
Let's go with the AV for size comparison. Look at that. It's like two of them almost. It's good stuff.
It's crazy. I mean, the authentic is what, 270?
229.
Once again, I'll pull up Vaporium's page and have a 269.90. There we go.
Ah,
Well, and that's with the shorty already attached. So yeah, there's
Nice.
quite a bit of difference. What's the question about the cotton candy able, Chris? Awesome. Yeah, I see that A Billion Lives, speaking of A Billion Lives, is actually looking for people to run cinema viewings of it, which pretty awesome. I'd hope someone here would do it again.
for sure.
mean, we had the world premiere here, which was pretty damn awesome. Thomas
It was
is
showing. It was showing in the price on the able just quickly for Lawrence and Chris. It is a clone. It was $29 bucks, I think. Yeah, $30, which is good. I mean, you know, I'm happy. It comes with the nice matchy cap, and I've got that drip tip that I had in my goon. It looks real nice on there, and then battle deck with the screws. I've got another battle deck coming with actual titanium screws as well, which I'm looking forward to, but that's probably for next episode because it's not here yet. But altogether, it's pretty nice.
even with the Star Wars sleeve, it looks
Yeah.
pretty damn awesome.
I mean, that looks the part too. Really light though, comparative to the brass one. But yeah, there was a screening of Billion Lives in Auckland. I did miss out on it. I think one of the guys on the pages did manage to go to it though.
Yeah, there were quite a bit, and they said it was awesome. Quite jealous that I didn't make it up for that. My cotton candy. Oh, her Abel's sitting at home. She hopes.
I know.
What's
Matchy
really?
matchy.
Oh, you guys can be twins at the vape day if you come to Auckland. I hope you come to Auckland. That'd be cool.
Yep. Matchy matchy.
But yep, so there was 2 screenings in Auckland and 2 in Wellington as well.
Yeah. I missed out, sadly, but hey, next time.
Always happens, Always happens.
Always. I can't even remember what I was doing that day, but anyway, I wasn't
I'm a
there.
support student, so I can afford to come up.
Oh, That's right. You'll be at Vape Day.
Damn right. Really looking forward to that. I don't know how many of you guys are coming to Auckland Vape Day, but if you guys see us, come say hi. You know, we're a vape fam, vape community. We pretty much are a vape fam, let's be honest.
Yeah, sure. I heard that Mr. Lawrence is going to be there too.
Mr. Lawrence Archibald, yeah, I've heard rumors that he is. But...
Rumors, but we'll see.
Lawrence has asked if you can just buy yours so that there's no shipping wait.
No. I'm keeping this thing.
Dreams are free, buddy.
Waiting for this thing. Yeah, I've been waiting for this thing for long enough. It is.
Oh, dude. I'm totally going to stay that off you in Auckland.
Mm-hmm.
I totally will.
Fair enough.
Vape Nation? No.
Just no.
Just no. It should be Vape World.
Vape World,
So, do you guys have any questions about anything we're vaping on? Any of the juice I've reviewed today? Any of the mods I'm using? Any of the mods Tom's using? Anything? Shit, we'll even talk about the weather if you really want. It's cold, raining.
It's warm and looks like it'll be sunny outside.
Slightly jealous.
That's right. It's still
Able
Auckland, so.
Yeah, definitely, Paul. If you could ship me one of your Ables, because I know they're authentic. Even though, I mean, I'd be happy with a clone. I'd be happy with an Able in general. I mean, I think the retail here for an Able is about 310 authentic.
Yeah, 309, I think, for the authentic brass with carbon fiber sleeve.
Yeah, that's a little out of my price range at the moment. One day, maybe. One day.
That's right, mate. She'll be all right.
You can buy my authentic Chris. Chris, you can PM me later. Depends how much you want for the authentic Able. Hit me up.
You reckon?
Mate, you can leave me a vicious ant, Paul. Actually, you know what? You can leave 2 and I'll give one to Tom too. Sorted.
Sorted. We can review them on the show.
My new one will be his... Really? Really, Chris? Bought another Able. Wow, that's crazy. Sunny in Nelson. Yep, I've heard the weather in Nelson is nice and warm. My mother has flown down there for a family event. Sadly, I can't be down there or else I'd come say hi, Mox. Gotta pick them, you know. Chris, I would definitely cook you dinner for your Able. I definitely would.
Good exchange there.
Dude, that's perfect. I mean, I'm almost qualified in cooking. I have all my food safety licenses, so could definitely make that happen.
Sorted.
Perfect trade.
Perfect trade. Worth it, 100%. Let's be honest.
I've got a question for you, Tom. Is there any new vape gear that you've seen that you like the look of?
Yes. And I know that I haven't seen Phil in the chat, but I know he's going to be like, oh my God, yes. And it's that Aria, that RDA he's been wanting since it's come out.
I can't even pronounce what it's called.
Yeah, I can't even remember what it's called. But yeah, that thing looks good. I'd love to see if the clamp style works in a different way than the Goon. Just to my only gripe with the Goon being that those plates do bend when you've got builds in there, and then you got to like flip them around and then build the and then twist them down the other direction. I don't know if you'll really be able to see those on there, but those plates are a bit bent due to those coils being huge. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see if it does fix that sort of issue, which is great.
Yeah, so it's called the Terminus. There we go. I had a little Google.
Quickly on the chat, TFVA, the V8, T8 V8 coils. The Q4 is, in my opinion, tasteless and really lacking altogether. So that's not the one that I would be buying packs of. So far, I've only had to buy one pack of the V8 coils. And they're lasting a while. Like they do last quite well. I've changed out the drip tip just because I wanted a slightly wider option. And it's a nice acrylic one there, well, resin one. But yeah, it's a good tank, that's for sure. If you have about a litre of juice to vape in a day, it's there for you.
Yep, that wouldn't surprise me. The one thing I've been looking at that I don't know how I feel about it is the new Avocado 24. I just see Paul's commented about it. It's not a mesh bowl. It's unique. It's so where's a 24? There's a 24. So they've pretty much changed it where it curves at the top. So it's kind of, I'm hoping it's going to produce flavor, but it is bottom airflow. So I don't know how that's going to work with the way that it's set up with the coils, but I see that like where these where the rubber grommets are, they've actually got the holes there, so it will be interesting to see how it works and how it performs. Might have to get one since I'm an avocado fanboy. Most likely we'll get one just to try it, see how it goes. Possibly.
I'll get one just to review it as well. Just see what all the hype is about. Quickly, RBA deck on the TFE8 is great. It's almost the same size as an actual Velocity. And I've chucked in some pretty low builds into there, and it holds up with the low builds. The heat and everything holds up quite well. Just on that note, just looking at the chats.
Smokes never cost $400 a pack. That is true.
I agree with that.
I mean, smoking is not cheaper than vaping. Vaping is cheaper, but it's when you start buying those.
It's when it becomes a hobby.
Yeah,
it's when it becomes a hobby.
The Triad, which was I think $250. Things start getting a bit more expensive, and it becomes a hobby rather than a quitting agent to smoking. The top is a bell cap now. And shorter distance to the coils. Yeah, I see that. I'm actually looking at it right now online. It does look very unique and quite different from the original Avocado. I'm just hoping it doesn't have the same leaking issues as bottom airflows do. Quite regularly.
I don't think it's leaking that causes that. That really you could call it that. It's if you overjuice it, it's going to go all over the place. Yeah. But looking at the Tsunami, for example, a lot of the liquid that's coming out is just the condensation from the coils popping and all that stuff. So we'll see what it brings. I mean, it could be revolutionary, could be shit. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see a Jenny with bottom airflow. Haven't seen one of those in quite a long time. To answer your question or your comment, Paul, yeah, definitely is a hobby side of vaping. Definitely becomes a lifestyle and a hobby. The new Tsunami is badass. I haven't seen the new Tsunami.
Is it the one with the...
Oh, the glass window that looks like Bender?
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about?
I haven't seen any other Tsunamis out there.
Yeah, that's the only one I've seen, and I believe you can get a squonk pin for it, or it comes with a squonk pin.
They come with a squonk pin, yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Same deck as the Avocado. Yep. Bottom airflow.
Yeah.
Does it still have the two chambers? That'll be interesting if it's completely different to the Bender RDA, as I like to call it.
The Bender RDA, mate.
Mate, it definitely looks like Bender.
It does, like hands down. And the designing team was probably like, "Hey guys, let's make it look a bit more like Bender."
any new rig mods coming up, and what's the triad like? I personally love my triad. It's my daily driver. It's quite heavy, so I would compare it with the RX 200. I've only vaped on one. I haven't owned an RX 200. They are quite heavy. DNA 200 board, freaking awesome. Once you put it on eScribe and sorted out all the battery settings on it, I get about 3 days on 120 watts, or 100 to 120 watts.
With LGs.
Yeah, LG HD2s, so 3000 mAh batteries.
Personally, I use VCT4s in mine, so I get a lot less battery. But it's purely because that's all I have lying around. Well, not lying around. That's mainly what I have. I get about a day and a half. Depends what I'm using. Like if I'm using these coils here, coming out at 0.05, which are those Maya coils. You're not going to be able to see that, but 0.05. Yeah, about maybe 2 hours.
Maybe 2 hours. Well,
maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised by the battery life with the 3000 mAh batteries. So it's pretty damn awesome. The only newish thing that I've seen that's come out is the LMC Limitless mod. I haven't personally used it. I know Tom owns one, and there is a review up on your Renaissance Vapes page, I believe.
It's more of a quick look. And this is where, if you guys want, I can go more in depth into this, but the menu, the way it works is different. It's not as friendly as a standard mod. Especially if you're a builder, like custom coil building, and you kind of want to figure out, what wattage works for your build. It's not friendly in that sense. And I agree with Megan. I have more cons than pros with this. That's for sure. The biggest pro is that it hits hard. In powerful mode, which you can switch between the modes, it hits really, really hard. The construction of it's real good, but again, the menu is unfriendly. That's for sure.
Yeah, I haven't seen any other new mods lately. I've been looking at more the Axis Vape M17s because they look awesome. Stabilized wood. Quite expensive though. Very, very, very. The only other thing that's come out recently that I quite like the look of is the H-Priv. I think Smok has done themselves a bit of justice after the X-Cube 2 and everything they had in between them.
The H-Priv or the G-Priv and the Alien?
Definitely the H-Priv. The G-Priv just, no. Touchscreen, no.
Oh, come on, man. It's just an iPhone with a firing button and the capability of putting your RDA on top.
Where I can put my vape up to my ear and make a call. That's where it seems like it's going with Smok at the moment.
Yeah. Quickly on the whole weird the button is, I have huge hands, and to me, that is more preferred. I don't know why, but I guess I kind of agree with people having it here, but I don't actually mind it here because I generally end up using it like this. It's like a trigger.
Yeah, so you use it trigger rather than thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else that's come out recently. Are there anything you've been looking at?
Not that I've been looking at. I mean, really, I've got the H-Priv. I love it. I think the ramp-up time on it doesn't beat the Triad, but it beats anything under the Triad. I've got the 213, but let's not go into that.
And the 155.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, the 213, it's a stunning looking mod, but it's just not practical. You can feel, even on 110 watts, which is what I use my TFV8 on, you pick that up, you try that at 110, you pick up the Triad, you try that at 110, and you can feel the difference between the two, hands down. Even though that's within that 155, you can definitely tell the difference. The battery meter is really inaccurate as well, but that's just beside the point. I haven't really been looking at what's coming out, I've been looking more towards what has already come out, just because of those things will generally not exist anymore if there was something wrong with them, truly wrong with them.
Yeah.
So I've kind of been looking more towards stuff that's been out for a while.
The only other thing is the Therion by Lost Vapes, I believe it's called.
Yes. Yes.
That looks interesting, and I see they've got a Squonk version, which is single battery.
That as well.
The
only thing to me, at least, is that 75 watts is reasonable, but my standard build in my RDAs goes at 105. Anything like below 80 just doesn't, taste or feel right. Yeah, that's the only thing. Quickly going back, looking at the comments, the issues with the main live wire overheating. I haven't had any issues on the H-Pro with that at all. I've had mine for quite a while. Yeah, I mean, it goes like a dream. Here it is here with the Sub-Zero. And it's good fun. That trigger noise, probably the only downside I have to it.
But other than that noise, what do you think of that trigger style?
I think it's actually really nice, really comfortable.
Yep.
And it's actually not there if you're using it normally. It's only there if you're going like, being a bit silly.
75 watts and a squonk is fine. Yeah, that probably is true.
Yeah.
I'm not a squonker. I don't think Tom owns a squonker.
It's not my thing.
But yeah, if 75 watts is fine for a squonk and you're using a 0.5 ohm coil, I guess that'll be fine.
Yeah, be more than enough for a 0.5.
I'm the same as Tom. I like my vapes quite warm.
Yeah.
So I'm between 100, 120 watts at 0.20, 0.2 all the way down to 0.1, pretty much, and that's where I sit. Jack is watching on his phone. Hey Jack, how's it going? I'm guessing that's Big Jack Simmons. How's it going, bro? Hope everything's well. Hope you're coming to Auckland Vape Day. Be awesome to see you.
For sure.
So you haven't met quite a lot of the New Zealand Vape crew, have you?
No, I mean, I've met all of the Hangouts crew, of course. Not in person, apart from Dallas the other day, which was good fun. Yeah, looking forward to meet, bunch of new people.
And meeting people like actually face to face will be pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's different.
Yeah, it's very, very different. It's a bit different than obviously a live stream or a hangout or whatever.
Yeah,
or
for sure.
Everyone's using. But that pretty much wraps up the show for this week, I would say, unless you've got anything else to add, Tom.
Not really. Do you want to tell people where they can find you on the interwebs, mate, if they want to get a hold of you or anything like that?
Instagram is the best place to find me. Kiwi Vapes on Instagram. So yeah, I try and post every day or every other day on that page. Other than that, obviously the Vape NZ page, if you are a New Zealander and you're interested in e-cigarettes or you already are vaping, definitely come join that group. We post club videos every day, most days. And yeah, there's quite a bit of knowledge in there as well. Over to you, Tom.
Sweet. You guys can find me Renaissance_vapes on Instagram. Or on YouTube, which the link is down below in the comments, or for the ones who know me, obviously on Facebook. And I'm generally free to chat and respond to any questions that you guys have, especially about gear. My collection is not quite massive, but it's still...
It's pretty big. It's
getting there.
So everything that we've just said, I'll put in the description as well. So if you guys can't find us, I'll just put it there. You just click it, add us, follow us, any of that sort of stuff. Definitely awesome to see you guys all here. Thank you for tuning in. Yep, it was a quick hour, but a good hour. Hopefully we'll see you back here this time next week, 4 p.m. on a Saturday, New Zealand time.
Should be every Saturday.
Are we going out with the cloud, Tom? We're going out with the cloud?
I'm just juicing it up. and then I'm ready.
Let's use the Limitless Plus instead of an avocado. Oh,
Oh, mate, you're gonna get people angry.
yep. Also, feel free to subscribe. I do see that in the chat. That would be good. Also, if you click the little cog, it'll tell you when we go live or when we post a video on here. Also, yep, Hangouts tonight most likely.
For sure.
You guys, thank you for joining in.